What's going on, my fellow Detroit Lions fans? Welcome back to the Detroit Den with Steve. I got another good episode for you guys today. A lot of you guys commented on the last video where I talked about Jack Campbell and said that you guys loved the video clipping that I did. Much appreciated. Trust me, that is a work in progress for your guy. Technology, not always my strong suit. I know how to do some basic stuff, but I'm working on making it better. That is the whole focus of this YouTube channel, is to put out good quality content. And backing it up with some proof. I feel like anyone can sit behind a microphone and talk Detroit Lions and give opinions, but showing you guys some stuff, breaking some stuff down, that's where I try to take it to the next level to be better myself. I am a perfectionist. I want everything to go perfectly smooth. So I am going to just keep focusing on that and getting better and better. And I appreciate all the kind words. I'm going to keep working on it. I'm going to talk today about Alim Mcneil, who I think is due for a monster season. And I do have some clips. I do have some more stuff that I'm going to show you guys. I'll get to it in just a second, but I do want to talk about him for just a minute or so. Earlier in the season, I think it was on one of the bigger name podcasts. I can't remember who it was. They were asking Alim Mcneil, going into a contract year, does that have any impact on your type of play? And he said, no. But I know us fans, when we hear the words contract year, you're usually expecting something pretty big to come up, because I think guys are playing a little bit harder, fighting through those injuries, trying to get that payday. And I get it, man. Hey, you're not in the NFL stands for not for long. So these guys are trying to go out, get every dime that they're worth, even if that means kind of sucking it up through some boo-boos that they would normally probably be out with in those contract years, because they want to get that paycheck. And as a player, for Alim to say that, I completely understand. He doesn't want that to be like a scapegoat or anything for him. So I understand why he said what he said, but I personally do think that plays a little bit of a factor in it. Let's just talk about Alim real quick. If you guys believe in that PFF rankings or anything like that, I know sometimes I kind of pick and choose when I like to use PFF. PFF has Alim Mcneil rated in the top 15. He's coming in at number 15, earning a PFF rating of 86.8 as a run defender and a pass rusher. And what's really nice is former Cincinnati Bengal and now turned Detroit Lion DJ Reader is also on this list at 13. So we are looking at the Detroit Lions having a defensive tackle tandem that's going to be one of the best in the league. I think against the run, it's going to be hard to get better. Going from 2 to 1, is it that big of a deal? No, but I do want to see us get better as a passing defense, and I think it all starts up front with the defensive line. It doesn't matter who you have back there in your secondary. We say this all the time. You could have Charles Woodson, Deion Sanders, Ronnie Lott. You could have the legends of the NFL back there in your secondary. In today's NFL, the rules are favored toward the offense, towards receivers. You can't put your hands on anyone. You can't kind of pull them, can't tug the jerseys, can't really touch them. So I feel like if you have that elite pass rush, that elite defensive line, and adding a Marcus Davenport and that opposite defensive end of Aiden Hutchinson, I think our defensive line is going to be much, much improved in assisting that secondary. So just adding DJ Reader, I know the obvious answer is he's going to help Aiden Hutchinson and Alim Mcneil, but I really think it's going to go deeper than that. Just real quick, I think it's going to help Jack Campbell. I think it's going to help Alex Anzalone. It's going to help a lot of things. When you're a quarterback, the last thing you want to be is uncomfortable. And I know most quarterbacks in the NFL today have a little mobility, a little athleticism. When you take that snap and your guard or center is getting pushed directly back into your face, that has to be the most uncomfortable feeling for a quarterback, because naturally you want to step forward and move away from that pressure. But these guys are highly trained. They're highly trained to handle any situation the quarterbacks that are. So where are you going to go? You're going to boot out to the right. Hey, there's Aiden Hutchinson waiting on you. You're going to boot out to the left. Boom. Hey, there's Marcus Davenport, James Houston, a handful of other guys who could be playing that position. So we need to make these quarterbacks uncomfortable. And watching a lot of these clips, trust me, I was watching video last night for hours on Alim Mcneil. It was hard for me to find videos where he got sacks because he was constantly getting pressures. So I'm going to show you a video of I think was Alim Mcneil's best game last year, and that was against the Las Vegas Raiders when they came to town on a Monday night. Watch what he does here to this offensive lineman. It's a nice little move that he puts on him right here. Just let me back it up because I kind of started playing for you guys a little too fast. There's Alim right there. I've noticed that my mouse will not let me put it over this video, but if you can see Alim right there, he's right on the Detroit Lions logo to the left of the center. So let's just play this and see what happens here. Just absolutely bull rushes them, pushes them to the side. Hey, Jimmy G, I'm right in your face. just an absolute bull rush of a move. And then he has to hit a little finesse, had to hit a little finesse on there as well. This was actually, I don't know if this was the first or second sack for Alim Mcneil, but he did have 2 sacks in that game, and I didn't clip the other one. I probably should have, because it was a good one. I think Jimmy Garoppolo was looking underneath his bed later that night for Alim Mcneil, because that was Alim's best game of 2023. Now I want to show you Alim's, I think, best game from 2022, and that was against the New York Giants on the road. Where the Lions were, as you can see, we were 3-6. So this is right about when we started to get hot. We started out 1-6, won a couple games, had to go on the road. You see the Giants are 7-2. Like, they end up making the playoffs, and I think they beat Minnesota this year, who in the year 2022, when I say this year, who won their division, and a lot of people were calling Minnesota frauds, and New York went in there and upset them. So this is when New York's trying to stay alive. The Lions are fighting for their life. We're almost in a must-win situation here. So in this video, Alim is on the right side of the hash mark when this video starts. So we'll just take a watch here. Finesse. Watch him just, let me go back. Let me just go back real quick. Watch what he does to this left guard. Right off the rip, if you can see it, I can't zoom anymore for you guys, but he just pushes his hands to the side. Right there, boom, push it, a number, I think that's 56, just pushes his hands to the side so violently that he almost puts him in like a half spin. And this is bad leverage for a lineman. When you're in this position, there's zero you can do about recovery. And watch how Daniel Jones reacts. Like, oh, he's in my face. I have to run for my life. But Alim, absolute athlete, just kind of grabs him by the hip and pulls him back to him and makes the play. I think that was Alim's best game in 2022, and I showed you guys his best game in 2023. So I think going into this season, absolute monster year for Alim Mcneil, contract year, all that going in the Detroit Lions' favor. There's been some talk of why the Detroit Lions have extended a lot of guys. Like, we extended Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell. Alim's next on the list, and a lot of people are asking, why hasn't it been done yet? Well, you're not going to re-sign all of your guys in one season or one off season. Like, it's going to take some time. You kind of want to weigh some options, and I feel like out of those 4 names with contracts being due, obviously Alim Mcneil is the odd man out. Amon-Ra St. Brown, our absolute junkyard dog on offense. Our whole offense got re-signed almost. So Alim Mcneil, kind of the odd man out. Penei Sewell, our tackle of the future. I think he's going to eventually slide over to the left and be a Hall of Famer over there. Best offensive lineman in the Detroit Lions have ever had. You got to lock him up. Got to lock down your quarterback. Jared Goff, got him on it's a 4-year deal, 3-year extension. That 4th year is an option. So that was kind of had to be done too. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, like the all-pro wide receiver, Pro Bowl snub. Shame on the NFL for even not mentioning him. And I do think just Alim Mcneil's coming up next, and you just don't want to, I guess, just put all your eggs in one basket. Not to say that that's what the Lions are avoiding, but you just don't want to do it all at once. That's just how I feel. So I want to show you guys one more clip. This was from this past season against the Packers on the road on Thursday night when the Lions were 2-1. Wrong button there. 1 second. Like I said, technology, not really my thing. This was early in the season. I think week 4, Thursday night football on Prime against the Green Bay Packers. This was a big game. This was, could have came down to, standings and tiebreakers, and the Detroit Lions had to handle business because the Packers weren't exactly rolling at this time, but they do get hot later in the season. And if you can see right here, what I noticed in this clip is it looks like some type of stunt. If you watch Aiden Hutchinson right there at the bottom of the screen, obviously 97, he's going to kind of engage and then pull back and come back around Alim Mcneil. So he should have had a wide open lane. You can see how wide open that lane is there for him. But Alim Mcneil is going to fight through these 2 blocks and end up making a play on Jared Love here. Jared Love, that's not his name. Jordan Love, sorry. I don't know why I said that. That threw me off. Not really like the sexiest sack in the world, but hey, quarterback goes on the ground and he was touched. So that goes down as a sack. So like I said, man, Alim Mcneil, he's capable of doing a lot of different things. We've seen him bull rush. We've seen him use a little finesse. We saw him use a little technique there with that stunt that Aiden Hutchinson should have had a wide open lane. I feel like if Jordan Love would have stepped up in the pocket, Hutch would have been there. But Alim had to take on those 2 blocks and make a play. So contract year, guys, I'm predicting a player who's been mostly healthy in his career. Played 17 games as a rookie, 17 great games in 2022, a little bit banged up in 2023. Only played 13 games, missed some time down the stretch, but came back for the playoffs. That was really when we needed him, and was second in the team in sacks at one point. He only had 5, but we didn't have other than Nate Hutchinson, we didn't really have a guy out there that was kind of dominating the sack department. But like I said, while I was doing this homework and studying up, watching film, I found a ton of plays where Alim Mcneil had pressures and made quarterbacks uncomfortable and forced some bad throws. That's why he gets a PFF rating of almost 86, somewhere around there. So I think Alim Mcneil is going to have a big year. It was hard for me to find film where he had a sack, but he had a ton of pressures. I don't know what his pressure rate was. If you guys find that out, leave it in the comments, guys. Hit that like button. Stick around. I will be back tomorrow with another episode, guys. Have a good day.